All right, so I have all my edits saved onto my little disk drive or whatever. Pretty cool one I got from a promo. Basically, I'm just going to go over to the embroidery machine, load it all up. I also need to put the threads onto the machine. So remember, I wanted to use this gold and purple for my crown royal, and then I wanted to use this tan for the Hennessy jacket. I also need to find, I'll probably use this gold for one of my photographers, and then I'll also need to load a couple other colors. So what I'll need to do is switch them out. It's a little boring. I'll go ahead and switch that out right now, and then I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so I went ahead and loaded my yellow and I loaded my purple, and now I am here. Let's see, let's go back. So I loaded my drive and I'm just gonna pull up the files that I need to use. And so this is the one I'm going to be using, my VHOS. Perfect. I probably need to go back and edit it. This is one of my original edits and I never went back to add the clip, the thread, so that's why it does that. I just manually clip that, but on the other ones you'll see the difference. So I'm just gonna hit set, and then here I can adjust the size of it. We're gonna make it a little smaller. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna close, and then we need to assign it some colors. So right now it has black and blue, and we're gonna change it to, we'll do the VHOS in gold, and then we're gonna do the eyes in purple, which doesn't look like I have a real purple, but we'll do lilac. All right, and then we'll close that out. And then I also want to, let's see, we're gonna edit end, and I want to add a border. So there's the border. So let's go back to edit, and then we're going to change the color once again, and then I want all these to be purple as well. So now it'll have a purple outline around the golden. So then we'll hit close, edit ends, and now it's ready for me to put my hat on the machine. So let me get my hat prepped. Okay, so now I got to get the hat ready to be loaded onto the embroidery machine. So what I got to do is I have this tool, and we have these little clamps, and so I need to load the tool up. If anybody knows what this is called, please let me know, because I need to go buy another one. Like, these things are freaking awesome. I went to the embroidery store and they had never saw this before. So anyway, so you have this and you have your paper, and so I'm going to cut out a nice little piece of paper to go on my little thing. Alright, so I got my paper. And normally I would use like fusible fabric to go with this, but because it's going on this beanie that already is pretty thick, the one I'm putting it on has like this little bit of fur and stuff. It doesn't really need much of a stabilizer. So I'm going to take my frame and I'm going to attach my paper to it by using this handy dandy tool. Okay, so as you can see, the paper is on the little holder. It's clamped on, it's pretty tight. You hear like a little drum sound. And so I'm gonna take my beanie and I'm just gonna put it on. So like right here, this is where it attaches to the embroidery machine. It just goes in like that. So you want the beanie to go on the other side, and you need to make sure you use a frame that has enough space so that it can hang, because this thread has to go from underneath and from above, so you need a little bit of hang time. All right, so when I was adjusting the computer earlier, I had it right side up, but since it's going to go in this way and the thread's going to be printing this way, if I put VHOS across here this way, it would be upside down. So what I need to do is go back and flip it so that it will be the correct way when you put it on. All right, so let's see. We're gonna go back to this thing. All right, remember we had to flip it upside down. So we're right here, right? So first off, we need to take that border back off because we have to flip it before we add the border. So we're gonna take the border away, and then we're gonna go back to edit. We're gonna go to rotate. I'm gonna flip it upside down. All right, let's close it. Edit ends. Add that border back. We gotta go back to edit, change the colors of the border. That's fine, but this needs to be purple. purple, purple. All right, edit ends, and that is exactly how I want it to go onto my beanie if my beanie was gonna be this way. Kind of see? All right, so now what I gotta do is load the beanie into the embroidery machine. You just gotta slide it down, but we have over here this little tool that will bring it out to you. Okay, and then it slides it out. And then all you have to do is load it in underneath these little knobs and then tighten them. I need both hands for that, so hold on one second. All right, so I went ahead and loaded into the machine. I did go ahead and add some clamps. It just holds it into place. Remember when I said it needed to have that hang time underneath? If you look, this is that part that has to go underneath. So you have to make sure it has enough room to slide underneath because the thread will be going. Will it let me show you? It'll be going from that area. That's probably a bad angle. But yeah, it's gonna be going from the top and from underneath, so it needs that space. So now that it's loaded in, I get to test it out and see exactly where I want to place it. If you see right there, there's like a little red dot. That is going to be the center of where you want to place your image. So I'm going to go ahead and go down some because that's a little too high up for me. All right, now it looks about where I want it to be. You can see. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. All right, and then over here, you can actually do a trace button, which will outline how big this is gonna be, and you can kind of watch the red dot, and it'll show you where exactly the needle might go. So I hit the test button, and it's gonna show me my parameters. So as long as it's within my frame, then it should be good. And that does look good. All right, I'm gonna double check it without the camera in my hand so I can really pay attention because I don't wanna make a mistake. And then I'll put it back on so you guys can watch what I do next. Okay, so everything looked good when I did my other run. So now we are ready to go. So I'm gonna go to sewing. And then here, it's gonna say a little note, change threads, click start button, all right? So basically it's just reminding you that, hey, you probably changed the colors over here. So make sure that those colors match these colors. And they're all numbers. So like this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these aren't all in the same places. It has one as yellow, and if you look over here, one's actually white. So what I need to do is hit this close. And if you look, yellow is actually in place number 5. So I'm gonna go to these little swaps, and I'm gonna change the yellow in 5. And the purple I wanna use, it's under lilac because they didn't have a purple, but it is a number 2, so I can leave that right there. It's in a good spot. And then we're just gonna close. And then one last time, double check all these numbers to be from where you need it to be taken from. So that's the 2 spot and the number 5 spot. And those are the only colors that we'll be using, so that looks good. And that's a little high for me. I like to go slower so I can watch my work. And that's it. So everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the lock button, lock it in, and let's go. All right, guys, it is all done. You can see it says finish sewing. So now we just have to take it down. Hold on one second. All right, so I can just take it off the machine at this point. It's paper, so it just rips off. And this is my finished hat. Like I said, I needed to do more on the editing. That's why these threads are still there, but I have to like trim those. But I think it looks pretty good. And just gotta peel the paper off the back. And that's pretty much all you have to do for an embroidered hat. I'm about to do a couple others, so you'll see them on the way too. All right. All right, so I finished with the other hat, left me this. So basically I just take these back off and I put a new one on and repeat the whole process. The next one's gonna be for the Hennessy jacket. It's that tan and black one. So I'm gonna use this tan thread that I found. It's pretty But I don't really know what I want to put as a secondary color. So I think I'm just going to do the whole VHOS and the eyes all in that little tan color. And then maybe just do the black border, kind of like how I did this black on blue. I don't know how I feel about putting that black on top of black, but I haven't done it yet, and it's going to be a hat for myself anyways, so I feel like if I'm going to practice on something, might as well practice on my own hat, right? So let me grab some paper so I can put this on here. Hold on 1 second. Alright, so you remember, got the paper, got the frame, got my doohickey thing that we do not know the name. Like I said, message me, man, if anybody knows what these are called, because I definitely want to back up, because if this sucker breaks, I'm going to be so out of luck. But anyways, it's on there. Nice and tight. This time, the beanie I'm going to be doing on has a like a flip brim. So we need to be really aware of if it's going to be right side up, upside down, or how we're going to put it. So we hit a little bit of a snag, literally. If you see right here, it has a run on the back side of this beanie. So what I'm going to try to do is incorporate it into the embroidery, and hopefully I can get some of the border to come in and sew that up. If not, you know, I'm a seamstress, I'll just sew it up myself. But I'm going to play and see if I can do that. So I have it. The hat is on here. It has a little bit of hang time. It's clamped into place so that it doesn't move around or slide or anything. And I'm just going to load it into the machine. So let's see. So it's loaded on there, making sure that we take the hat and go underneath. You do not want to sew through your hat. You need to make sure it has that hang time of space. All right, so now everything's in place. All right, so we're back over here. Be very, very aware when you have a regular beanie and when you have a flip beanie on the front of whether it's going to be upside down or right side up. You don't want it to come out and be the wrong way. I have literally thought this through in my head and double checked. So I am positive that this is the way, hopefully, that it goes. But we got to do some editing. We're going to take this size. I don't know. That seems pretty big. I'm going to go down some. A little bit higher than that. Maybe like, yeah. That looks good. And then we need to change the colors. Let's see. So I want the original color to be that tan color, so we'll just say that, cream brown. And then I want the eyes to also be, cream brown. And then I want the border to be black. And so that's what it's going to look like. Looks a little close. Hold on. Change this border. What I'm doing right now is just going to increase the space in between the border. I know it's on here somewhere. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to increase that to like... that looks good. All right, now let's put the border on there. And it's got a little bit more space, looks good, but we got to go back and change those colors. So black, black, black. Oops, sorry, close. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. We can go to edit end. Now I need to place it. Remember that red dot? You see it right there? Yeah, you just got to put it where you want it to be. So it is way too high. We're going to put it down here, lower to the brim of the rim. Let's see. All right, and now we're going to do a trace, and it's basically going to tell me where it's going to put it on the hat. So that would definitely get that little run in the front. So that's a good thing, but it goes too far down. That'll go too far down on the hat. So I need to go down a little lower. So let's go. All right, let's try that out. Includes that run. comes around and stays on the hat. So that looks good. That is probably where I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run it one more time with without the camera so I can make sure, and I'll be right back. Okay, everything looks good to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit sewing. And now it's gonna tell me to change the thread. So the one I'm using is that tan right there in spot number 3. And I'm gonna be using that black in spot number 6. So 3 and 6 are our numbers. So we're gonna hit close. And then we're gonna go to that little switch button. And then in 3, I need it to be that cream brown. So we're gonna switch that to 3. And 6 has black already, so we're good. We're gonna close it, double check our numbers. Everything is 3s and 6s because that's all we're using. And we're gonna hit lock, and we are ready to go. It's all done. There we go. And anyways, when I turn the hat backside out, comes out just like that. I know that was a terrible camera angle. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to flip it so you could see. Be very mindful when you're doing this on which side you flip it. You do not want to mess up a perfectly good hat. Oh, and I was able to get that hole. Let's see if it'll let me focus. I was able to get that hole included in that border. Maybe if we get some more light. Yeah, so no more hole, no more run. And it was sewn right on in. So, good little fix for me. But yeah, so this is the hat that I'm going to be wearing with the Hennessy jacket. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, same routine. Take the paper off, take the little clips off, do it all over again. So the next one we're going to be doing is for one of my photographers. They are going to be giving me a free photo shoot in exchange for embroidery work. So it works out for me, works out for them. It's a good trade situation. So they emailed me their logo. I've already recorded a video of me doing some of the editing on that, so you can watch that from the earlier post. Right now I'm just cutting out my paper. Alright. Paper, clamp it on. Alright, put the paper on. Now I'm just putting the hat on, the beanie. I like to take these little clips and kind of hold it into place so, you know, it does move around and stuff when it's sewing, and a little movement sometimes can mess up the thread. And sometimes it can make it jam. Sometimes the hats need to be stretched out a little bit too, so that they hold the shape a little bit better. So I have it all ready. I'm going to load it into the machine. So it's loaded up and ready to go. All right, so fresh new project. Sorry, I dropped this. So I got my all right, got my file in there. And the one we're using is this one right here. This is Golden Fable. You guys can see it. All right, so set it. That actually looks about right in size. All right, so we're gonna change the colors because we're gonna just do it all gold. And gold. Very nice to go on this black beanie. And look at the way we have it loaded. We have it where the top is going this way, and this is not a fold down, this is just a regular one. So I need to make sure I remember to flip it. So now it's upside down. All right. And we're done with that. So let's put it into place. Alright, and then let's see how that traces. It looks a little low. I'm going to pause the camera and kind of play around with it a little bit. Hold on one second because I need both hands for this. Alright, it is all done. So now I can just... and then I can just take this right on off. Clean up all this little paper. I need both hands for this, but basically I'm just going to rip off all this paper. I'll be right back. Alright, I just peeled away like all that excess paper that wasn't needed, and this is what the inside looks like. And, oof. And this is what the outside looks like. Came out pretty cute. Alright, on to the next project. So the next one we're going to be doing, I have one more photographer that I need to make a beanie for that's going to do another photo shoot for me. But I haven't got all the finalization on colors yet from him. So I'm going to move on to the next project, which is going to be a gift that I'm giving one of the workers at ASAP Smoke Shop. You guys may be familiar with it. It's the best smoke shop in Tallahassee. At least it's my favorite. People there are super, super nice. And because of their great niceness and customer service and all that good stuff, when I was practicing, I had already edited and created a logo for ASAP. I'm going to go ahead and just print out an extra one. He told me his favorite color is teal. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like the orange ASAP flame with teal lettering. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. And sorry about that. I had to go grab the different hat. I wanted to give him one that has like the fuzzy insides. So I have my frame. Put my hat on here. Because of the way it's going, and it's not a flip, it will be going upside down, the pattern on the machine. So just keep that in mind. Putting my little clamps, put it in place. And you guys are like almost pros now because you've watched me do this a couple of times. I'm pretty sure you could do this yourself. All you gotta do is get the machine. But until you do, feel free to order from me. Probably the cheapest in town. Yeah, I know I'm the cheapest in town, but I'm still practicing. So, all right, so I have it clamped on there. I left a little space like right in here because I want to get it pretty low and I don't want it hitting that metal. So sometimes I just scooch it down a little bit so that doesn't get nowhere near it. All right, so we're gonna go pull the file that we need. And we're using this one, ASAP Smoke Shop. There you go. Before I had it with a black on orange, but he told me he likes teal. So I have an orange and a teal for him. It's a different color orange. I feel like that orange just goes a little bit better with that teal. It's a little softer. All right, and so we do need to rotate it, flip it upside down. And I think that size is pretty decent. So I'm gonna leave it as is. We do need to change the colors. That's going to be, yeah, sure, why not, pumpkin. And then this will be like that color, electric blue, not really, pewter. I think that looks a little closer. All right, and then that's it. We're gonna place it where we want it to be, and then we'll do our test run. Looks good to me. I'm going to test it one more time, and I'll be right back. All right, it looks good to me. So now we're at this screen. We're going to hit close and switch up the threads. Right now, the what they call pumpkin, the orange, is in 2, and what they're calling pewter is the teal, it's in 3. So we're going to be working with 2 and 3. So I need to come over here and switch out these colors. The pumpkin is actually in 2, so let's switch that. And the pewter, which is the teal, is actually in 3, so let's switch that. So now we got 2 and 3 on there. Our numbers are 2 and 3, 2 and 3. All right, so everything looks good. We're gonna lock it in and let's go. Alright guys, this is the last and final product. It is the ASAP Smoke Shop. It's got the teal and the light orange on it. The other one for my photographer. The VHOS for my Crown Royal, and the VHOS for the Hennessy. So these are everything that I did today. I'm going to call it a wrap for today. I'm about to go eat. Hope you enjoyed everything that you saw.